We have a lot to talk about though, because over the weekend, well, really the end of last week, we had our first hurricane of the season, which then grew to the first not only major hurricane, but Category 5 hurricane that we've seen this season. And now it's going to be bringing some indirect impacts to the east coast of the U.S. But I just want everybody to note it's August 18th, so middle of August. That's when we start to see things really begin to ramp up in the Atlantic. And unfortunately, that's exactly what we're seeing now. Don't worry, I'm here for you. I have covered so many hurricane seasons, which have been very active in all the weather markets that I've ever been in. So I know what to look for, what not to, and just how to make sure that you guys are staying up to date with the latest, correct, and not overblown information. And I say that because social media right now has been just off the wall. And I don't know if it's just mine because I'm a meteorologist and I like to look at all the weather stuff. So I see a lot of these posts from people who are not meteorologists, and they're literally just taking one screenshot of a single model run and saying, good luck. And it's just like, no, that's misuse of information. So don't worry, you're not going to get that here. We're going to bring you the latest and tell you guys exactly how it is. So let's get into the weather graphics so we can talk about Erin, which is that hurricane that I was talking about, and then an area in the Atlantic, which we call a tropical wave. So if you look at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, there's like a big, for lack of better words, red blob down there. Well, that's an area of disorganized showers and storms. This is not even an area of low pressure yet, but the National Hurricane Center is saying, hey, there is the potential for this tropical wave to start to get going. And basically in the exact, you can say air quotes, on the heels of where Erin was. So that's going to be that area in orange that you see shaded on your screen there. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have a tropical depression at some point in that area by the end of the week. Thursday, Friday. I mean, we're going to be watching it. Again, it still needs to get its act together. There's still a little bit of dust that's going to have to go through, but that's something that we're watching closely. So as of an hour ago, we did get our latest advisory and track on Hurricane Erin. Still a Category 4 hurricane. I will say winds did pick up. Last advisory that we got, which was earlier this morning, again, it's Monday, August 18th, we had about 130 mile per hour winds. It's up to about 140, so still in that Category 4 strength. What's going to happen is it's going to be curving around what we call the Bermuda High. And that is an area of high pressure that basically sits out in the central Atlantic. And the good news is that Erin, especially because this has been just a buzzsaw going through the Atlantic, is going to be riding the outside edge, means it's going to be staying directly away from the east coast of the U.S. as well as the island of Bermuda. But you can see the outer rain bands are hitting Turks and Caicos and now moving into the Bahamas as we speak. And I want you to watch that center eye. It's actually probably going through an eye wall replacement, or at least the beginning of it. This happens with these storms. The storms cannot stay that strong forever. So it goes through eye wall replacement, maybe weakens a bit, and then kicks right back up. So that's kind of what we see and we're seeing right now, but it's starting to make that jog off to the north and west. I think maybe folks in the Bahamas were watching this saying, it's coming directly west. No, it's starting to curve, and you can see that with our future wave heights. There we go. It will start to curve to the north and west, and then north and east eventually. But the deal is, it's going to get pretty close, the outer rain bands at least, to the Outer Banks of North Carolina. So they're going to be getting hit hard with potentially some strong winds, heavy rain as the wind field does expand, but also pretty large swell and an increase in rip currents up and down the East Coast. I mean, I'm talking from Florida all the way up to the coastal Maine. I mean, it's going to be everywhere. So this is our latest GFS forecast model. Again, I said latest because it's one of many that we are going to be watching. But you start to see some activity in that area that I showed you earlier that was shaded in orange. Yeah, that's the next tropical wave, which, like I mentioned, could become a tropical depression. So we're going to be watching the timing of this thing because we want to make sure everybody is staying up to date. Again, Fernand would be the next name on the list if and potentially when we get our next named storm. And lastly, I want to leave you with peak hurricane season. We are just a few notches away from that, usually around September 10th. Again, it's really not an actual date. It's just kind of the time of year. So middle of September is usually when things peak. But just note, it still stays active in October and, in years past, even into November. So don't let your guard down. Like I mentioned, we are here for you. That is our #1 job, to keep you informed and keep you and your family safe if anything were to come into the Gulf. But right now, it doesn't look that way. Again, anything can happen, but we'll keep you posted.